Welcome back to Everyday Race. Today I'm going to be testing 5 different carbon cleaners from 3 different countries. First one is this Very Lube from Ukraine. It also goes by this brand. Next one we've got MotorPower foam carbon cleaner from Germany. Then we got Berryman, that's made in United States. And then CRC Intake valve cleaner, that one's also from America. And the famous SeaFoam spray, that was made in America. Now this video is sponsored by, no, not you. This video is sponsored by people that watch my videos. So I bought all these chemicals with the money that I got from you, the viewers. So thank you. Thank you for watching my videos. Alright, first let's start with the prices. The most expensive one is a MotorPower Care carbon cleaner from Germany, even though the German flag is sideways. I see somebody had one job. They had one job and they managed to mess it up. Anyways, it costs $27.99. Comes in a 16.9 ounce bottle. It's $1.66 per ounce. Next, we've got intake valve and combustion chamber cleaner from Berryman, made in America, $26.08. Comes in a 16 ounce bottle, $1.63 per ounce. Next on the list is Ukraine with a Very Lube, costs $19.99. Comes in a 10.82 ounce bottle. It's $1.85 per ounce. Most expensive one so far per ounce. Next we got American CRC Intake Valve and Turbo Cleaner. Comes in a 11 ounce bottle. That's $1.45 per ounce. Last but not least, we've got the SeaFoam from America. Costs only $8.78. Comes in a 12 ounce bottle. That's 73 cents per ounce. Alright, next let's look at the ease of use. No matter how good the product is, if the product is too hard or complicated to use, nobody's going to use it, or not a whole lot of people are going to buy it. So let's look at these 5 chemicals. I've divided them in 3 separate groups: easiest, average, and the hardest. So first let's look at the Berryman. There are 2 ways that you can inject this stuff into a running engine. First, through intake port, such as this, very easy, or through booster hose. So that's pretty easy on this 2.5 liter Ford. Second way is you're going to need a flathead screwdriver. You have to undo the hose clamp here or here, and then inject it this way with this adapter that comes with Berryman. I've already installed it. It's very easy. If I can do it with one hand, you can do it with 2. And then you start the engine and you run it. So next, let's look at this Chrysler 3.6 liter. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any usable vacuum ports that I can see, but like the 2.5 Ford, it's got the intake tube with the hose clamp. So undo it, install the adapter, easy peasy. Alright, next let's look at the CRC and SeaFoam. It's just like Berryman, except you can only spray it in the engine. So you would have to do something similar like this. You'd need a flathead screwdriver to undo the intake port on this 2.5 liter. Or unfortunately, I think SeaFoam comes with an adapter like this, so I no longer have it. So pretty easy on this engine. This 3.6 liter V6 Chrysler, same deal, pretty easy. I'd use all 3 of those. Next, let's look at the hardest bunch: the German power motor and the Ukrainian Very Lube. These require injection in the combustion chamber. So you have to start the engine, you have to heat the engine up Then you have to stop the engine, and then you have to undo the plug wires or ignition coil and remove the spark plugs, and then inject these chemicals with either this hose from MotorPower or this hose with the Lube. Now on this engine, it would take me probably like 5 minutes to remove the intake tubing, remove the ignition coil wires, and then get all the spark plugs out of there. It's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest. So this product is usable on this engine. Now let's look at the Chrysler 3.6 liter front wheel drive V6. Let's look at the rear bank first. The ignition coil is right over there. That's one of them. There's 3 of them in there. Not very easy to get to, but that's not the worst part. Let's look at the front bank. You can't even see a single ignition coil. So for you to be able to use those 2 products, you have to heat the engine up, then you have to remove the intake manifold. Mind you, all this stuff is hot, and there could be manifold gaskets that you have to replace if you separate the upper and lower intake manifold. So it makes it pretty much impossible to do. So for that reason, these 2 I would not buy if I had a front wheel drive V6 like this. So next, let's move to the tests. Alright, so first I'm going to test the most expensive one from Ukraine. It comes with this tube. This one requires a removal of the spark plugs. Applications. Here we go. Warm up the engine. Remove the spark plugs. Spare this stuff for up to 5 seconds and wait 10 to 20 minutes. So let's get, I'm going to use this piston number 2 and this combustion number 2. They're both marked 2. Here we go. Next I'm going to spray it. And then we'll let it sit. Alright, next I'm going to use this MotorPower carbon foam cleaner. Alright, next let's use this intake valve and turbo cleaner. Alright, CRC. Alright, SeaFoam. Ooh, there's some smells. SeaFoam cylinder number 4. And let's spray Berryman. Hold on, this one's more complicated. I've got to hold the hose. There we go. And let's get Berryman in there. Here we go. Plenty of it. Alright, it's been half an hour. Let's look at the results. Alright, so next I'm going to use paper towels to soak up all the chemicals. Oh wow, look at it. Look at the Berryman. Holy crap. So far, Berryman got the best results on the pistons. Now let's go into combustion chambers. Now this one was Ukraine. Okay. Then we have MotorPower, German. Ooh, looks like, oh, wow, it did pretty good. I'm just dabbing it, I'm not trying to wipe the whole thing. Wow, Germany, who knew? Let me get next one we get the CRC, which would be number 1. CRC is not looking too hot. Okay, next we got the SeaFoam on the number 4. And then we have the Berryman. So far, it's this one. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, definitely you could see the Berryman and the German one are by far the best results. Alright, so it's been another 20 minutes. I wiped everything down, and let's look at the pistons. First, the Ukraine. Nothing, just one couple of spots, so it did some work. Next one, the Germany MotorPower. I was actually surprised as I start wiping it down. Some of the carbon came off, so it did pretty good because these three pistons had the most carbon. Well, next let's move to CRC USA. Didn't do nothing. Alright, SeaFoam USA. Alright, I did a little bit of work. And last but not least, surprise of the day, Berryman. Look at this. It did pretty good. Alright, next let's look at the cylinder heads, combustion chambers. Now you're going to be pretty surprised, as I was. Alright, first let's look at the Ukraine, and it actually did pretty good. It removed some of the carbon here, so I was kind of hard on it on the piston. I didn't think it was going to do anything, but it did pretty good. Next, let's move to the Germany. Let me move it out of the way. And Germany did very, very good. And then we got CRC, and CRC isn't very good. Alright, next, SeaFoam. It did a little bit better than CRC, but it's not looking very hot. And last but not least, Berryman. I think Berryman got the first place for sure. So, in my personal opinion, Berryman did the best. Then we have the German MotorPower. Then we have Ukraine. After that we got SeaFoam, and CRC is kind of very similar. I have to give SeaFoam, I think SeaFoam did slightly better than CRC, so you know what, I was so impressed by Berryman and MotorPower. I'm almost tempted to try to put Berryman here and MotorPower here for one more round. I think I've got about half an hour. I'm not going to warm nothing up. I'm just going to spray it and see what happens. Let's do it. Next, let's take the Germany foam carbon cleaner and spray it on piston number 2. Let's wait 20 minutes, see what happens. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. So this is a Berryman, and this is the German MotorPower. Let's see if they were able to outdo the Ukraine and CRC. Alright, so MotorPower was able to remove some carbon. Now let's look at the Berryman. Oh my god. Here we have it. This is the champ. The Berryman is the champ. Is definitely the champ. This is my pick. Alright, and the results are in. I put the best here and the worst here based on my personal opinion. Now Berryman definitely did the best out of the bunch. It did the best on its first piston. It did very good on its second piston. And it did the best in the combustion chamber as well. It's also the easiest one to use. You can put it in the intake. You can spray it on the throttle body. So, number 1, USA. The second one is MotorPower, in my opinion, from Germany. It did pretty good on the piston. It did very good on the combustion chamber. And yeah, if you can't get Berryman, I would recommend getting MotorPower. 25 bucks, did pretty good. Third place would be Ukraine Lube. It did poorly on the piston. It did semi-okay on the combustion chamber. So it's the most expensive one out of the bunch per ounce. So would I buy this one? Not really. And fourth place would be SeaFoam. It's the most popular one. The reason it's fourth and not fifth is because it's the cheapest one out of the bunch. It did not do very good on the piston. It did not do very good on the combustion chamber. So fourth place for SeaFoam, and CRC, since it's almost double the money of the SeaFoam, and the results were very similar between the two. They did poorly on the piston and they did poorly on the combustion chamber. So yeah, I very much enjoyed doing this test. I did not expect the results, honestly. And but the next step is going to be, I'm going to be using a Berryman on my own truck as soon as I install the fuel cell. That way I'm able to measure exact fuel consumption. So once I get done with the test, I'll put the test in the comment section. It might be a while. I'm still waiting on some of the parts. But yeah, I'm planning on doing before and after performance wise and fuel consumption wise, and Berryman is the one I choose. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit a like button, and please comment if you have an opinion about something. I'd love to read it and hopefully answer it for you. And once again, thank you for watching, and have a good day.